Have you seen the news? After 25 years, Pauline is finally coming to Mario Party. Which makes her, by far, the oldest character to appear in the series, given her first appearances over 43 years ago in the original Donkey Kong. And although that is exciting in and of itself, especially as one who's a huge Mario Party and Pauline fan, I think it might be hinting at something even greater for our favorite bombastic mayor. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this, and not just because the title and thumbnail probably already spoiled it, but I am going to say that I'm firmly in the camp that Pauline is going to be getting one of those fancy invitational envelopes for the next Super Smash Bros. Game as a playable newcomer. Although not specifically because of her appearance in Mario Party Jamboree, though that's obviously an important part, if not the final part of this puzzle that I'm about to lay out to all of you. Consider this, ever since Pauline's modern reappearance in 2017's Mario Odyssey, she has appeared in every major long-running Mario spin-off series since then, including Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Mario Strikers, and now of course, Mario Party. Yes, that is 5 in case you lost track. That is a lot of game series to appear in a relatively short period of time. I'm saying Smash Bros. Is the only big thing left for her to do. Now, I'll be the first to admit that that by itself probably isn't enough to guarantee a slot in the next Smash Bros. Game as a playable character, and not just because there are no guarantees when it comes to Smash, but also because there are several other characters that meet that same metric, as in they've appeared in all those same games, including many others over the years, and probably aren't all coming to the next Smash Bros. Game as a playable character, although I would kind of love for that to happen. This includes Shy Guy, Birdo, and everyone's favorite, or at least my own, Waluigi. But I think there are some important distinctions there compared to Pauline that makes her particularly more eligible as a candidate for Smash than the other three, although again, I would love for all of them to happen. Number one is that none of these three are really main characters. Shy Guy and Birdo started off as just mere enemies before being turned into spin-off fodder, which hey, I love them in the spin-offs, but neither of them are really a part of the mainline series these days, despite both getting their start in that series with Mario 2. Otherwise, they're pretty much relegated to spin-offs like the Yoshi games or Paper Mario games. And speaking of which, that's basically Waluigi's entire existence. He was invented for Mario Tennis, and by God, that's where he stayed, at least in the Mario Sports line of the series. And I'm pretty sure that until he gets his own full-scale adventure or finally appears in a mainline Mario game, which I honestly don't see happening anytime soon, I don't think Waluigi stands a chance at appearing in Smash Bros. But again, I would love to be wrong on that. Whereas Pauline not only recently appeared in the mainline Mario game with Mario Odyssey in a pretty prominent role, and yes, I'm using recently a little loosely here, but it's the same generation we're in now, but she's also the only OG character to not be represented in Smash as a playable character, alongside Mario and Donkey Kong, both who got their due in the original Smash Bros. 64. Pauline is 24 years overdue. She deserves this. Furthermore, unlike the other three characters, Pauline clearly has momentum on her side, because she pulled off all those appearances in a short period of time, ever since 2017 with her modern reappearance. And that's something the other characters haven't really had. They haven't had a hot streak like Pauline, who people just can't seem to get enough of. And that's not even to mention her pretty notable appearance in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It doesn't get much bigger than that, except for, of course, Smash Brothers. Now, before we get too carried away with this argument, or theory if you will, there is one other detail I probably should mention. And that's the fact that when I earlier said that there were only 3 other characters who appeared in the same spin-off games that hadn't yet appeared in Smash Bros. As a playable character, well, there technically is a 4th too, and it's a big one, because he is a major Mario character. In fact, outside of Pauline, he's the only other OG character not to be given full playable status, but he kind of is playable in his own way, and that of course is Toad, because he appears as a special attack that either Princess Peach or nowadays Princess Daisy can use. And that's always been a little weird to me, because I feel like Toad's always deserved better. He deserves to be a full playable character, and I think that could possibly happen with the next Smash Bros. Game. But at the same time, they could just keep him as this weird accessory for Peach and Daisy and not upgrade him. So I don't know what's going on there. I hope that they fully upgrade him because he deserves it. But in any case, I think when it comes to big, exciting, new playable characters, Pauline is at the top of the list. So to quickly recap, I think Pauline has an amazing chance of being a playable newcomer in the next Smash Bros. Game because she's been on one hell of a hot streak since 2017, where she first reappeared in Super Mario Odyssey, then reappeared in pretty much every major spin-off game since then. Also, she appeared in the Mario movie! All of this in an incredibly short period of time, which is almost unmatched by any other character in recent Mario history. And on top of it all, she's the oldest Mario character yet not represented in Smash Bros. Unless you count a Donkey Kong barrel or something. And you know what? I kind of want that now. So, assuming I'm somehow right about this, that Pauline appear in the next Smash Bros. Game as a playable newcomer for all the reasons I listed out, which, by the way, if you're watching in the future and I end up being right, let me know in the comments below. If I'm wrong, how about we just ignore that? I wanted to take a few moments to explore how she could possibly work as a playable character. Now, full disclosure, I haven't put a ton of time or thought into this because I haven't had much time to think about it, so I may explore more in a future video, but for now, I wanted to go over some quick ideas I had of how it could possibly work. And number one, the first idea for this is the easiest, dumbest, and lamest option, being the same thing they did with Princess Daisy, and that is to make her an Echo Fighter of Princess Peach. It would work, I wouldn't hate it because she is at least playable in the game, but it's also the weakest option because there's nothing unique about her outside of whatever cosmetic changes that they make. And I really hope they don't go this route because I would really love for them to fully embrace what Pauline is across her entire history. And I think that'd be a lot more fun to give her a bespoke moveset rather than what they did with Princess Daisy, which I also hope that they upgrade to full playable stats in the future in the sense that they give her own unique moveset as well. And plus, at least if they do go the Echo route, with her appearing in every spin-off game, most of Princess Peach's moveset works pretty well with the golf clubs and tennis rackets and all that. But again, I really hope they go with option 2, being a fully unique character. But I think there are some fun things they could do, even if they may have to, really put on their creative hats to really think this through. So option number 1 is obviously the mic stand, in that should be a physical prop that she can beat people with. I want her to beat on people with a mic stand so much that I think it'd be a lot of fun if she just swings it around. Again, kind of like the mics or the golf club that Princess Peach and Daisy can use, but really go all in on that with a mic stand. I think that could be really fun, at least for one of her attacks. Another one would be, speaking of the mic stand, singing. That should be some kind of special attack, whether it spawns music and notes above that drop in, or maybe music and notes spew out from her attack that maybe she can charge up or something. I think that'd be a pretty fun, easy way of incorporating what's a major element of her character these days into her moveset. Again, I'm sure it's going to require some tinkering to make that properly balanced, but I think there's a lot of fun there instead of just making it a final smash. Though that could also be one sick final smash as well if they want to reuse the idea for it, or even if they make it exclusive for that. Number 3 is looking at her attire in Mario Odyssey. She's got a hat. You know who else had a hat? Oddjob. What the two have in common is absolutely nothing, but I think it could be fun if she throws her hat like a weapon, which would be a little ironic considering Mario's hat in Smash Ultimate was Cappy, but you couldn't throw her like a weapon. So let Pauline do what Mario couldn't in that game and use her hat as a projectile. Next, with her being mayor of New Donk City, I think we could really embrace some of the elements of that setting in her moveset. Things like fire hydrants, for instance. What if you could drop a fire hydrant, similar to how Pac-Man can, and make that part of her moveset? Or, what could be even more fun, is what if, as mayor, she could pull out a cell phone, get an instant taxi, because she's pretty important, and that taxi just runs everyone over. Again, that might make for a better final smash, but I think that could be a lot of fun. Or maybe she can even drive the taxi around. I don't know, just bring taxi into it in some way because that has to be an element of her character, even if again it's part of a final smash. Then another element of New Donk City are the manhole covers. Maybe she can reach into a manhole that just randomly appears and she can pull items out of it. Or maybe she can throw the manhole cover itself and use that as another projectile, similar to the hat idea I already had, or maybe it could replace the hat idea. I think you could really go out there if you really want to embrace New Donk City. You can have crosswalks as, a crosswalk symbol as a way to freeze the character in place. I don't know, but I feel like you could really lean into that and make that a lot of fun, and make that part of her character. And I think there's a lot you could do with that arena or that level as inspiration for her moveset. So there we go, everyone. Just my quick casual ideas for how Pauline could not only work as a character in Smash, but more importantly, why I think she will be a character in Smash. Because again, as an OG, given all the momentum she has, I think she's earned her place in Smash Bros. As a newcomer, and I would love to see that. And I can't wait to see what that reveal trailer hopefully ends up being, because that is going to be one hell of a newcomer trailer, especially because, again, she has this distinct status of being the last OG character left not yet in Smash. Outside of Mario and Donkey Kong, Pauline is it. She's the only character that old, 43 years old now, that hasn't yet appeared in Smash. And that's kind of amazing in its own right. So she earned it, she deserves it, I can't wait to see it. But you know what? That's enough of me jabbering on. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Pauline deserves her shot in the next Smash Brothers game? Let me know in the comments if you think she does or doesn't, and let me know what you think of a potential moveset for her, because I would love to hear your ideas as well. With that, we're done here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Click that subscribe button. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.